What is up, YouTube? This is Alucard AFK with another MTGO game with commentary. So, as you can see, there's some green in here. You ain't never seen me play a green deck, you hear? So, I do like green. I just don't play it a lot. And as you can see, I have splashed black in here. Or, you could say that black's a major factor. It's how you look at it. Is there more forest than swamps? Yes. So it's a green-black deck. So you can see in my opening hand I've got two forests here, a Mimic Vat. Mimic Vat's fixing to rotate. It's a very powerful card. I've ran Mimic Vat decks before, but this is not your typical Mimic Vat deck. In fact, well, you'll just see. So, the Vat, you can imprint a non-token creature, and you may exile that card. If you do, return each other card with Mimic Vat to its owner's graveyard. So basically what that means is when anything dies that's not a token creature, I can exile that card, and I can choose to, it's exiled with the Vat. And so then next turn, or even, well, essentially it would be next turn, for 3 mana I can put a token on the battlefield that's a copy of the exiled card. It gains haste, and then I exile it at the beginning of the next end step. So basically I can put something out there, he can swing in for some damage or do some abilities, and then he gets exiled. And then he gets exiled back to the Vat. What makes Mimic Vat even more incredible is a card called Parallel Lives. And so Parallel Lives says that whenever you put a token onto the battlefield, you put twice that many. So if I put 1 on there, I get 2. If I was going to put something like Grave Titan out that does 2 token creatures when it comes out, 2 zombies, I get 4 instead of 2. So of course there's a Birthing Pod in this deck as well. So I can ramp up to things like Primeval Titan and Grave Titan if I don't manage to get them out any other way. So let's get to it. And the nice thing about this deck, I've played it quite a bit last night and today, and it seems like every game is a little bit different. Grave Titan by himself can win the game. Combined with a bunch of Parallel Lives, it's crazy. It's like, you get a couple Parallel Lives out there, and so as soon as Grave Titan comes out, he's putting like 6 zombies out there. And then when he attacks, he's doing another, 6 zombies. It's insane. With Primeval Titan, he's really just kind of a late game way to get some thin our deck out. Basically, when Primeval Titan enters the battlefield or attacks, you search your library for 2 land cards, put them into the battlefield tap, then shuffle your library, and that counts with the Woodland Cemetery. It doesn't say basic lands, so I can get all my Woodland Cemeteries out onto the field. So he's a way to thin our deck out. Birds of Paradise, pretty much no-brainer. It's a way to ramp up of any color. Beast Within, it's nice when you have Parallel Lives out, so you can do it on yourself, get rid of something you don't really want or need, and so instead of putting a 1/3/3 green beast token onto the field, you put 2. It's okay to get rid of, destroy target permanent, so getting rid of planeswalkers and big baddies, and it's kind of funny, you kill one of their, blood gift teams or something, and you put a 3/3 beast on the ground. Sometimes it's to their advantage, if you don't have anything to answer that 3/3 beast with, then it's can kind of, obviously it's better than a blood gift demon or something like that, but it still can be just bad. So let's keep going. And this deck is arranged to just, like I said, we could probably play this without the Birthing Pod, but it is nice since all the creatures in this deck are set up to ramp up to each other. So like, for instance, Similac, when he comes onto the battlefield, you get a basic land card. When he dies, you draw a card. So we can use Birthing Pod to sack Similac and then get a Acidic Slime. And Acidic Slime can destroy many things, lands and other things like that. And so then you could after he does his little dirty work of destroying something, you could sack him, and then you could bring out Grave Titan or Primeval Titan onto the field, onto the battlefield, without having to pay them. So I like Birthing Pod in this deck, but there's only 2 in this deck. It's not a main mechanic. The main mechanics are Mimic Vat and Parallel Live. So, but there's so many win conditions in this deck. So we'll go ahead and put Mimic Vat out. It's kind of like Blood Artist in a way. I mean, it really has nothing to do with Blood Artist, but you know, other than the fact that when Blood Artist, you know, when a creature dies, you know, I lose 1 life, he gains 1 life, things like that. So you want to get Blood Artist out real quickly, so when creatures start dying, you can start taking advantage of that. Same thing with Mimic Vat. You want to get them out early, so they may have just a 1/1 or something, but you can still grab it with Mimic Vat and use it against them. So. And so we got Viridian Emissary. There's 4 in this deck. This card has been proven to thin out your library, even better than, you know, Similac. So when Emissary dies, you may search your library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield tap, then shuffle your library. So he has to die to be able to draw the card. Whereas Similac, for 4 mana, you can get the card as soon as he comes out and you draw a card. But this is 2 mana, and you have ways like Beast Within to kill him, and also you know, Birthing Pod itself. So play a Forest, and we'll go ahead and put the Emissary out. So he'll sack his Evolving Wilds, he'll get a Forest and play another island. So play an Iron Mirror. Iron Mirror adds red tier mana, so it's just already beginning to be blue, green, and red. So there's Parallel Lives. This is really what the deck is focused on, so I would say this is a Parallel Lives deck. It's an enchantment for 3 colorless and 1 green. If an effect would put 1 or more tokens on the battlefield under your control, it puts twice that many of those tokens onto the battlefield instead. So I already explained that, but... And we'll go ahead and put that out. We'll swing in with the Emissary, and he'll go to 2. So play a Wellspring. When the Wellspring enters the battlefield or is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, you may search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand to shuffle your library. So he'll grab a Plains. So he is all over the board. Blue, green, white, red. So play a Farseek. Search your library for a Plains, Island, Swamp, or Mountain card and put it onto the battlefield tap. Then shuffle your library. So if I didn't know better, I would be thinking something like Nicol Bolas, but yeah. It's already kind of a weird deck. So we got a Swamp. And really nothing to Beast Within at the moment. Mimic Vat, you gotta do another one. See, and the thing with Mimic Vat is I mean, if you know how to play it correctly, having 2 out is 3 out is better than just 1. Because when a creature dies, you can only choose 1 creature to be in Mimic Vat at that given time. So, you know, say one of your Mimic Vats has Grave Titan. Well, then something big and bad dies on their side, and you don't want to lose Grave Titan, but you want to put it in the vat and use it. So having another Mimic Vat is good. And the way that you see an MTGO, when the effect comes up, like when something dies, both Mimic Vats will trigger, and you'll see a kind of a white arrow pointing from the card that it's talking about, which will usually be in the graveyard, pointing to the Mimic Vat that it's going to. So you can choose which Mimic Vat you want, and so you don't erase one of the creatures that's already in it. I've seen a lot of people do that. I saw a guy had a Mimic Vat and he had a big baddie something in it, and then he just had to yes to the ability, and it overrode with like a like a bird of paradise or something. So be careful of that. So we'll swing in with the emissary. We're holding off on Beast Within. We want to, and Beast Within, at this point we could do it to ourselves. We really don't want to lose anything. We could get rid of Birds of Paradise, I guess, and it would put, with Parallel Lives, it would put 2 3/3 green Beast tokens, so we'd have, 6 sitting on the ground. But then, he could pull out, I don't know, some crazy Planeswalker or some crazy card, and we would be stuck without any removal. So this deck isn't huge on removal. But since it's black, I'm in there with Black Sun Zenith, so I think the only deck that I've played that didn't have black in it was just the mono blue discard deck, which I haven't played many games with yet. So he's gonna bring out a Pestilent Soul Eater, and Pestilent Soul Eater gains Infect until end of turn. So you can choose to pay 1 mana or 1 life to get that ability. So that is exactly what we were looking for. That is essentially a win condition on his part. So, and here comes Rancor. That is crazy. So now he is a 5/3 trample, and then for 1 black, or he'll probably just pay 1 life, he can get Infect. So he would be doing 5. So no Infect, which I hate. There's only 10 counters there, so it cuts your entire life total in half. Luckily, he cannot swing in at this moment, so that's why, with years and years of control decks, even though this is really not necessarily a control deck, I kept this sitting there. So we'll go ahead and do Beast Within, grab that Pestilent Soul. And like I said, here it goes again. So he'll lose, a Rancor will go back to his hand. He'll get that 3/3 Beast token from Beast Within, which is a lot easier to deal with. No Infect damage or anything. So both, and I hope you can see this. So it's showing directly on the Pestilent Soul Eater. So that one's going to that Mimic Vat, and that one's going to that Mimic Vat. You can only do one. It'd be awesome if you could copy it twice, but... And so we go ahead and grab it on the first Mimic Vat. And so right before combat, and the nice thing about Mimic Vat is, like I said before, when he put him onto the battlefield, it gains haste. So these two bad boys, 3/3s, and having 2 3/3 beast creatures, we got Infect and so. And I've never played with this card before, but like most of those abilities, you want to wait. Obviously, if I swing in, which I'm going to here, I'm going to swing in with all 3 of them. So he's going to block 1 right here, and then it's going to give the opportunity at the very last step to activate ability. So, why waste mana or health putting this guy to Infect when it's not going to get through? So this guy here, he will get through, so we'll go ahead and apply Infect to him. And we didn't have any black running, so we just chose 1 life there. So he'll go to 14 with 3 poison counters. And then we'll exile the Soul Eater. Soul Eaters. And that's the nice thing about Parallel Lives, is it doesn't matter how many tokens I generate, you can kill them all. You could do a Black Sun Zenith, and next round I'm just going to put out the same amount of tokens. It's unstoppable with the Mimic Vat and Parallel Lives, unless you have like Bramble Bush and things like that to get rid of these artifacts and enchantments and things. It'll run the table. So Throne of Geth, sacrifice an Arctic, and you can proliferate. So he'll do Rancor on his Iron Mirror. He'll become a 3/1 with Trample. So we got a Forest. And we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lands. We could definitely play Primeval Titan. We don't need any more lands, and he's a 6/6. So I still think the better play here was doing a Pestilent Soul Eater. So we just go ahead and do that again. And we'll swing in yet again. He'll block one. We'll give one Infect. And he will go to 12 with 6 poison counters. And see, he's losing these cards here. And of course, Mimic Vat again triggers with his Iron Mirror. We do not want to override. See, this is where it's real important. See that arrow going straight to the one with Pestilent Soul? So we want to say no to that one. It'll say, do you want to use this ability? You say no. And then you see the next arrow is going to the Spare or Mimic Vat. So we'll go ahead and do it. Not that we really want to use it, but it doesn't end into their, you know, graveyard. So, and then we'll exile those tokens. So we play a Slash Panther. Crazy. It's a 4/2 with haste. It's foil. It's an artifact creature cat. Never seen that card before. Yeah. So he'll go Rancor on that guy, and he'll be a 6/2 with trample. My goodness. And we started to block it. I'm not sure even why I did that. He's got trample, so if he didn't, we would have probably chump blocked him. So we'll go to 10. But you know, he's at 12 health, we're at 10, but if you look at it this way, he's, you know, got 4 life left and we have 10. That's the way I look at it. So we got an Acidic Slime. Acidic Slime could essentially punish some of his thingies up here. Because when Acidic Slime enters the battlefield, destroy target artifact, enchantment, or land. We can't destroy a creature, or else we get rid of that guy, and then have him for this Mimic Vat over here. Primeval Titan could be powerful here, but again, with the poison damage, not that I like playing Infect decks, but we'll use that mechanic when we can. So we'll do the same routine once again. And Slash Panther's tamped. He's tapped, so we'll just give both of these guys Infect damage and then swing in. So game ended on turn 8. Unexpected mechanic. Did not expect to be playing Infect this game, but that's the power of Mimic Vat. You never know what you're gonna get. Life is like a Mimic Vat. You never know what you're gonna get. And copy and duplicate with Parallel Lives. So I hope you enjoyed this game, and you'll be seeing more of this deck. And it has been revised a few times already. I'm swapping cards in and out, trying to get the best of all the worlds here. So leave a comment, like, and subscribe. We'll catch you later.